Hello and welcome to part 3 of Beautiful Chord Progressions with me, Fake Dr. Levin. In this third part, we're going to learn a technique in which we take a nice chord progression that fits safely within the key of G, but we're going to modify one chord and take it outside of the key for a moment to create a moment of suspense and darkness that will then resolve beautifully. So, in order for us to use this technique, we're going to have to continue thinking about chord progressions in terms of their formula. So last lesson we talked about this when we took a really common chord progression that was in the key of G major and then changed it to the key of E major by first identifying its formula, which in that lesson was like 1 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 4 major, and then we took that same formula but plugged it into the key of E major. We're going to use similar language today. So if that was a little confusing, this will help kind of clarify it, I hope, by reinforcing the concept. So when we're in the key of G here, we're thinking of our chords in terms of their relationship to the key of G, and specifically the G major scale. So the G major scale contains the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then we're back to G again. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Everything's regular and then F is sharp. So G is the 1, A is the 2, B is the 3, C is the 4, and so on. We've got a number for each tone in that scale. Today's technique specifically refers to the 4 chord. Now the 4 chord in a major key is usually a major chord, or is major chord. So in this case, the 4 chord is G1, A2, B3, C4. C is the 4 chord in the key of G. What we're going to do is we're going to take this regular 4 major chord, but we're going to make it minor, which takes us out of the key for a moment. But then we're going to resolve back to chords within the key of G. So we're out of the key for a moment and then back. And you'll hear this in music all the time. Radiohead's Creep. When you were here before, right? Yeah, something like, when you were here before, couldn't look me in the eye. You're just like an angel, you're C major. Your skin makes me C minor cry. Yes, your skin makes me cry because the C is minor. Regularly that C would be major. In that case it becomes minor. So today's example chord progression is loosely based off of that Radiohead progression, but we're going to keep things a little more simple. Today's chord progression in the key of G major starts on a G major chord. That's the 1 major chord. So G major in the key of G is the 1 chord. Then we're going to B minor, which is the 3 minor chord. Then we're going to C major, which is our nice regular old 4 major chord, C major. But then we're going to make it minor, which makes it the 4 minor chord. So when people talk about using the 4 minor in a major key, they're talking about this. This is now minor. And then we're going to resolve it to E minor, which doesn't seem totally resolved. It just seems like a new chapter in this progression. And then we're going to go up to G major and down, G major being the 1 major again, and down to D major, which is the 5 major in the key of G. And then finally back to C minor, the 4 minor, our dark, out of key chord, and then resolve to G. So the progression ends up sounding like this. Super pretty. So now let's review a little more about how we could take this chord progression and put it in another key. So we've figured out that we have the 1 major, the 3 minor, the 4 major, then the 4 minor. Then we go to the 6 minor, back to the 1 major, to the 5 major, and then to the 4 minor again. Now that's a lot to keep straight, and just to make this concept come through a little better, let's just start by converting the first half of the progression, which is 1 major, 3 minor, 4 major, 4 minor. Let's just put that in another key for now. So why don't we put that in the key of F major? Alright, so first what you're going to want to do is think, what are the notes in the F major scale? Now if you don't know how to figure this out already, I do have another lesson series called Music Theory from the Ground Up, which you can check out to answer exactly how scales are formed and how all that works. Additionally, there are many other instructors out there who do an excellent poetic, prophetic, I don't know, just thinking of things to say. They do an excellent job explaining how keys and scales are formed. So today I'm going to just tell you that the key of F major has the following F major scale. F is 1, G is 2, A is 3, B flat is 4, then C is 5, D is 6, and E is 7. So everything is natural except B's are flat. So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So anyway, we're going to take this formula, 1 major, 3 minor, 4 major, 4 minor, and now we're going to plug that into the key of F major. So what's the 1 major chord in F? That's going to be F major. F is the first note in the F major scale, therefore F major is the first chord, the 1 chord. So F major is the 1. And then we got to get to the 3 minor chords. So what's the third note in the key of F major? F, G, A. So that means we're going to play an A minor chord. And now we need to get to the 4 major chord. So what's the 4th note in the key of F? F, G, A, B flat. Alright, so there's the 4 major chord. Now we're going to take that and make it minor. Now we're going to have the 4 minor chord, so it becomes B flat minor. And so now let's do this again, but let's put this in the key of C major. And I'll let you do this one on your own. So what we're going to do is, first, the key of C has the following notes in it. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. That's your C major scale, all naturals. So using that knowledge, what would be this chord progression in the key of C? I'll give you a moment to figure that out with a little quiz. Alright, so you should have ended up with C is the 1 major, then E minor is the 3 minor, then F major for your 4 major chord, and then F minor for your 4 minor. So in the C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we have C is 1, E is 3, F is 4, F minor. Alright, great. So I hope that this is helping to figure out how you can think of chord progressions in terms of numbers, and then use that information to change the key you're in, and to transpose chord progressions from one key to another. So in summary, we learned one simple thing today, which is that if you're in a major key and you take the 4 chord, which is typically a major chord, and make it minor, it sounds really nice.